And we are live on yet another Watchalong as King Garth runs into bowl to restrict Delhi to 106. Yes, you're watching the Gujarat versus Delhi game on a Saturday evening with us here at cricket.com. And there's lots of things going on in terms of the world of cricket right now. We saw what India Australia was all about, but we're also seeing what's happening in terms of the PSL. I refrain to talk about it, but look, you have to talk about it. Anirudh was just dying with laughter because the score one point at a time was 171 for one after 11 overs. And Multan right now, I don't even know. They possibly could beat RCB's 263. I mean, Ani, welcome to the show. My name's Avni Shekde, by the way. There's lots going on. How's your Saturday night been so far?
I think like till the start of that match, I guess it was boring. There was nothing much in even in the India match,
Yeah.
and there was nothing in this innings as well. Even in Gujarat's innings, there was nothing to say about or like something like entertaining.
Yeah.
But man, that is like EA cricket going on
Yeah.
over that.
It's
That
stick
is,
cricket. I don't know if you guys remember that game, stick cricket. I think it still exists on the desktop and stuff. It's either 4-6 or out. There were times where we were cheering and hooting in the office that every dot ball was bowled, but it was quite crazy. So all you guys watching, tune into different streams, however you guys like. I know it's a Saturday, so many people might be out doing their own thing. And of course, download the app because Marizan Cap, and I'm not a poet because I know it, has of course taken a fifer, another fifer. Ani, how much did that impress you? Because that really derailed Gujarat.
obviously like every one of them tried to get that swing early on, but
Yeah.
I guess Cap was the only one who succeeded in trying to get
Was
that.
it good bowling or was it poor batting?
I mean, it was good bowling, like because see the thing is, the one which she dismissed, Wolwart, I guess, yes,
Yeah.
Wolwart, as well as Ashley Gardner. Those two balls were like a beautiful ones. Like that's a nut. That is what we call.
Correct.
So it was like the perfect one pitching on off stump in just that initial moment. See,
Oh, Kim Garth.
exactly. This is what.
This is
These
what.
were the kind of deliveries which he was delivering. Yeah, seriously, that like you can't say that they batted poorly,
Yeah.
but yes, it was a masterclass of a spell from her.
Yeah, I think Shikhar Pandey too got a couple of wickets, but all of course focus was in Mazan Cap, 5 for 15, and that was brilliant bowling. Now there is of course assistance with the new ball, so Kim Garth might extract that. We've seen Garth already kind of trouble the batters early on in the previous game as well. On that note, let's of course welcome Mohit Shah, who joins us as well. He was with us in the previous watch along where Bangalore got annihilated. He joins us again. Mohit, how are we this evening? And has the Gujarat capitulation put a smile in your face or not really?
Not really, because when you asked me yesterday, I actually said that I backed Gujarat in this game. So I'm a
Yeah.
little disappointed with their performance because they were coming off a good win in the last match. And what we've seen today is a repeat of their performance against Mumbai, where the top order completely folded. And I think it also has a fair bit to do with selection because Sophia Dunkley, who scored the fastest 50 in the last match and was the player of the match, was dropped today for Laura Wolfart. And I think that probably also contributed to the poor start that they got because Dunkley was the one who was providing them with those good stats, who was taking the bowlers on in the power play. So I think they missed that enforcer up top today, or somebody who could see the new ball out, considering how well Marizan Kaap was bowling.
Yeah, I mean, wickets just kept falling and crumbling, and you can't really expect that from any team. So Gujarat almost take a page out of Bangalore's book, how shambolic they've been. But right now, we're hoping Delhi take a page out of Multan's book to finish the game early so we can, go and do our own things. But jokes apart, though, Mohit, the fact that Gujarat right now had a chance to maybe pick up points in this game, it's almost looking like a fight for that third place, which makes the tournament interesting, dare I say?
Yeah, it does make it interesting, but it's also a little sad as to how much better off Mumbai and Delhi are than at least Bangalore and Gujarat because there's a vast gulf. And if you look at the tournament, it's just 5 teams. It's not even a 8 or 10 team tournament like the men's version where you invariably will have 2 or 3 teams every season, which won't do that well and which would more or less make up the bottom of the table. But in a 5 team league, you want a majority of the teams to be performing well and the competition to be very close and intense. But so far, like in the WPL, like you said, it seems like there mainly will be a battle for the third spot, with UP probably currently being the front runners because they've already won two, and Gujarat and Bangalore have had their own sets of struggles. But thankfully, because Mumbai and Delhi have been so good, none of them are knocked out yet. So they still have hope. But yeah, like all three of those teams are probably gunning for the third place already and not really in contention to finish first or second, which is sad because they are not even halfway into the top yet.
Yeah, I mean, it's something really to consider. Before I just come to Anirudh and his thoughts about what should happen right now in terms of the Delhi chase, because Shafali Varma just clubbed Kanwar overhead for six and puts a smile to the Delhi dugout as well. There have been some comments coming through, which, because you can share whenever you feel like, buddy, no stress upon that. Chachant going on to say, haha, this is the Adani choke I was waiting for. He also, of course, goes on to praise Marzan Karp, the real South African. There's another one which says this game is a mismatch from Subodh Chavan. And you kind of get a feeling it is because, like Mohit was just alluding to, the Gulfin class is evident. Um, keep the questions coming through as well. But what I want to ask Ani right now is the fact that Gujarat right now, I mean, do you feel sad for them?
The thing with Gujarat is, I never expected them to score 170s, 180s at consistency, but at least I expected 150, 150, 160. Because I've told this so many times, like, apart from, if you're not playing Sophia Dunkley, then you have only one batter who can go at a good pace, and that is Ashley Gardner.
True.
And she, whenever she has batted, like in in 3 or 4 innings, whenever she has batted top of the order, maybe 3 or 4,
Yeah.
she has had a golden duck. Like
Yeah.
she's not able to contribute in any way. When you have only one batter who has the responsibility of taking your team at a good pace,
Yeah.
then that is obviously difficult. But the one thing which I was banking on was Beth Mooney staying till this 15th, 16th over so that the others can go around. Try their own game or try to hit out of their way. Like Beth Mooney stays till 16th over and she
How,
scores 50, 60.
but how big a blow is losing Beth Mooney straight up?
That's really a big. That's a very big blow for them.
And no matter how good Laura Wolfhard is, she's not the player that Beth Mooney is, right?
Exactly. Like, Beth Mooney gives you consistency. That is what you need when you have. See, you have batters completely filled with strike rate of what, 120, maximum is 120, 125.
Yeah.
Even Mooney is not a great striker, but she takes her time. Once when she gets into that 40, 50 range, at least she goes at a strike rate of 180, 170.
Yeah.
So that is fine if you're an opener and you are staying till 16th over and you have somebody like Ashley Gardner coming down to hit around, then yes, obviously it's fine. But now what's happening is they're not able to find that proper opener at all.
Yeah. That's a real cause for concern.
I mean, Sabineni Meghna is not able to capitalize on her opportunities.
Yeah.
Dayalan Hemalata, she comes in, she scores the 20, 25 at a brisk pace, but not able to convert it again.
Yeah.
So there hasn't been that consistency again. Even if you're scoring, okay, fine. Even if you're scoring 20, if you're scoring at 150, 160, and two or three of them are scoring that one, and one stays around, then you reach to around 160.
No, absolutely. And it's really something which puzzles me in terms of looking at it from a Gujarat perspective, because the one batter who's actually stood up, and some would argue today that she didn't deliver, but Harleen Diol, of course,
Yeah.
a couple of 60s, today 20, maybe some would question her dismissal. But meanwhile, Shefali is absolutely going gung-ho against Garth. 2 4s. I like the first 4 because it was almost like a tennis shot straight down past mid-off, and now this one past mid-off again, but to her left. I'll keep the comments coming through as well. I know there's some football comments coming through as well, so we welcome those. Don't fret about that, and download the app as well. What happened to this Delhi team against Mumbai was boring one-sided game. Mohit, I mean, I know that was just maybe an aberration for this Delhi side. Another boundary for Shifali, by the way. But do you think Delhi that time, I mean, that game as well, they should have really kind of fought harder because Mumbai just came and it was a stroll in the park for them as well.
Yeah, the one bowling attack that can actually trouble this Delhi team is Mumbai, because if you look at their top five, other than Jemima Rodriguez, all the other players are a lot more comfortable against pace rather than spin. Meg Lanning is somebody who's very good against spin as well, but all the others, like the other three batters, be it Marizan Ka, Palace Capsey, or Shafali Verma, or today Laura Harris, they do have certain weaknesses against spin. And that day, Saika Ishak like bowled really well, attacked the stumps. And I think that over where she got both Lanning and Jemima in the space of a few balls is what turned the game around. Because the big issue that we've seen with this Delhi team is the lack of depth in their batting lineup. Like Jess Jonathan's been a very good player in the past, but of late she's mostly been a tail ender for Australia. And this year she didn't really bat in the top seven in the WBBL as well. So she is not used to batting that high up anymore. So having her at six is the area that good bowling attacks will always target, because she no longer bats regularly in the middle order and she's not used to playing those long innings. So, and Tanya Bhatia, like you were saying yesterday, is a good player, but she's not somebody who's going to take the game away or score at a strike rate of 130, or like be able to hit sixes consistently in the death overs or something of that sort. So I think Mumbai just attacked them in the right places and reaped the rewards. But yeah, with this Delhi team, I think chasing suits them well, because they definitely are a much stronger bowling side. And every time they bowl first, they will benefit from the conditions as well. Because, like Marizan Kaap said after the first innings, the ball swung for the first time for her today in this tournament. And it was also the first time that they were bowling first in the tournament. So I think this is a setup which suits Delhi perfectly. So even against Mumbai, if they bowl first, they will be able to challenge them a lot more.
Yeah, and Delhi, the fact that, sure, you touched upon their bowling and how it's kind of their strength. The opening pair, just the question that these guys asked the broadcasters, obviously an overwhelming response of 79% saying these two are the destructive pair of the league. But what my question is to Ani is the fact that Delhi has still kind of chopped and changed with their middle order because they sent in, I think, Alice Capsey one down, Caps batted there. They have, of course, Jemmy in that middle order. Would you like to see some more consistency after Lanning and Shifali? Who do you think is the best 3, 4, 5 going ahead in the
I mean,
tournament?
see, like, uh, in situ, I would say it would be situational. I won't say they have to fix it up to one particular thing, but it. I would like them to have a situational batting order.
Okay.
Like what happened against Mumbai.
Short Shifali.
So what happened against Mumbai when um, Shafali Verma lost her wicket? I felt Jami should have come at that time itself.
Yeah. And they sent Capsey.
They sent Capsey. I Jemmy could have steadied that, and she could have given some confidence to Meglani.
Yeah.
I mean, and then they sent Capsey, and then again Cap. You lost two of your power hitters over there itself.
Correct. Oh,
At the
what a
start
shot.
of in the first over.
Yeah.
So like it has to be situational.
It has to be situational, and I think they have the flexibility to kind of float around all those three names: Capsy, Cap, and Jemmy. And not to forget, like he said, they have Tanya Bhatia, Radha as well. So there's a little bit of depth if you look at it from that perspective. By the way, keep your comments coming through. We'll answer all of them. I think there was one about
Six
Anirudh.
more.
What a shot that is from Shifali. She is absolutely taking a page out of that Multan setup in PSL right now because she's 40 of 14. It's almost like she's Usman Khan in disguise, or maybe even better. Shikha Pandey is liking that. And Ash Gardner is bowling her first over of this evening, and she's been taken apart, taken to the cleaner, some would say. Anina, the question from Subodh to you then. Want to know about Castlegold's thoughts? Ooh, is that bowler? No, it's a buy, I think, that sneaked through. Yeah, he wants to know your thoughts on what's going wrong with Bangalore and what they should do in the next game.
They don't have the armory in their bowling to do something because they just can chop their domestic players. apart from Renuka Singh, you don't have anybody who has that international experience in the bowling lineup.
True.
In their bowling lineup, you have Komal Zanzar, who was once a player for India. But apart from that, you have Shreyanka Patil, Sahana Pawar, all these guys who are still inexperienced. Once when you are experienced bowlers like Megan Shutt, Renuka Singh, and even Ellis Perry, they are going for runs. It becomes very difficult for the youngsters who are there to come up and shine again. Oh, okay, fine. I'll step up to the cause, but it becomes difficult. And see, the problem over here with Bangalore team is like it's just not in the. Oh man, damn,
This is a
just like
mad over. I
this is a
mean,
mad over.
this has gone for 23, and Delhi are finishing the game before we even know it. Shefali is 15 balls, 40 runs, and Meg Lanning's going smooth as butter as well. But it just begs the question, because you're like spinner, would you like to see a certain South African thrown in terms of Dane van Niekerk? Because Erin Burns played last game, I have nothing against her. I think this is the point that Mohit as well was making, and I'm sure he
I
agrees
mean,
with you.
Erin Burns is not actually your 4 over bowler.
True.
You are swapping in your 4 over bowler. Okay, fine. You wanted to bring in Erin Burns or Danny Kirk. I guess it should have been somebody else, because Megan Shutt is your most experienced bowler, and then comes Renuka Singh for you.
Yeah.
In the Bangalore lineup, this is the order. This is the
Correct.
pecking order. So if you're dropping your most experienced bowler, then you are left with nobody. Actually, like Megan Shutt is the only one who can give you something in the death overs.
Yeah, I mean, it really kind of puzzles me this. Mohit joined in this chat with us, because even if you look at Bangalore's options in terms of 4 over bowlers, Renuka comes in, there's Megan Shutt, like he's mentioned. Then Shriyanka Patil may be on her good day. Preeti Bose has been, of course, in and out the team. Who are the other 4 over bowlers? Because Perry's not going to bowl 4 every day. And so the others.
Yeah, I think they probably have only 3 or 4 over bowlers, and then they have a lot of 2 over bowlers because, like you're saying, Ellis Perry's not really been bowling more than 2 overs for Australia for a long time now. Heather Knight doesn't bowl at all for England in T20 Is. Sophie Devine didn't bowl at all for New Zealand at the World Cup. So they have a lot of 2 over bowlers when it comes to their overseas players other than Megan Shutt. And all their Indian domestic bowlers bowl 4 overs regularly on the domestic circuit. But Anirudh made a very valid point about how Renuka Singh Thakur is the only one who has a lot of international experience. And she herself is only 1 year old in international cricket. So she again does not have a lot of experience. So I think they really are missing that experience in their bowling attack, because like if you look at somebody like Delhi, they have a lot of experience. Shikha Pandey has been around for more than a decade. Radha Yadav's very young, but she's played 70 or T20 I's already played, I think, 3 World Cups. So there is a lot of experience there. And there's Des Jonathan, who again like has played for a decade now. So, and obviously there's Marizan Kaap. So I think RCB's bowling lacks experience, and all of these people, like if we look at the Delhi lineup, are 4 over bowlers, be it Jess Jonathan or Shikha Pandey or Marizan Kaap or Radha Yadav. So all of Bangalore's 4 over bowlers, other than Megan Shutt, lack experience, be it in international cricket or even in domestic major franchise leagues, like be it this league or the WBPL or the 100. Renuka has not played any of those. Megan Shutt's the only one who has the experience of regularly playing under this kind of pressure and against this kind of quality.
Yeah, I mean, it is honestly just scary going forward for
And see,
Bangalore.
the other problem with Bangalore franchise is it's just not in the women's one.
Yeah.
Again,
I mean, another
there is a
boundary.
thing,
I mean, 18 balls, she's moved on to 49. That is, of course, the fastest 50, which beckons for
obviously
Shefali.
20 is 20
So far, who has that?
18 is the fastest. Sophia Dunkley got it in the last match. So she
Okay,
can't
so
break
she got
that. Yeah.
27 balls, 68 or something. What Usman Khan and Shefali Verma to back together, and Rahul Pindi says Hardik Vora. I can't agree more. I mean, that'll just be intent and steroids, as Gurkita keeps saying. 68 for none, 4.3. So basically, they're doing a Sophia Dunkley right now, essentially. The three more balls left in this Mansi Joshi over, who's been pelted for two fours. Make that three. No, there's long gone back now. So there is a little bit of damage control. So Chan Singh told you guys, Mitali Raj is not a great mentor, just like Rahul Dravid. Dravid has a horrible coaching career in IPL. I mean, you can judge Dravid by the IPL lens, but you can of course judge him by what he's done in terms of under 19 and of course India A and all of that. I won't get into that chat because I know Chachant might be gaslighting two of the biggest Dravid fans here. But look, a nice point mentioned by Abhinav Gupta that sometimes money doesn't really buy you everything. Ash Gardner and Smriti being classic examples of that. Why do you think Ash Gardner struggled so much? I mean, you mentioned with the bat that she's inconsistent, but with the ball as well, do you expect more from her?
See, this pitch hasn't offered anything for the bowlers. I mean, like both in DY Patil and Brabon.
Yeah,
And you need support from the other end to excel.
Yeah.
If everybody are getting hit, you can't expect one bowler to come out and say, okay, fine, I am gonna shine over here.
correct.
That's not gonna happen every match. See, I know Gardner is a very good. She has been an exceptional all-rounder for Australia.
Yeah,
But over there also, you have classy bowlers who support her.
or 100%.
But over here, you don't have any bowler. Even for Ellis Perry also, she bowls 2 overs in the power play for Australia. That's all. That's her maximum.
Yeah,
And then she doesn't bowl. By that time, at least there'll be like 20. When she comes into bowl, 21 for 2 in 3 overs, 4 overs.
yeah,
When you have that kind of support, okay, fine. The bowler feels okay, fine. I need to do something. Once when you're not getting that from that other end, there's nothing one bowler can do.
hmm.
So, not in I'm not in support of her, but yes, she has very much underperformed.
Yeah.
But I acceptable for 2 matches, but not all 4 matches.
Yeah, and invariably, I think the pressure has kind of got to her and told, many would say, because look, losing Beth Mooney is no small joke, and then the pressure eventually kind of creeps up on you with the price tag and all of that. Meanwhile, Delhi are making mincemeat of this target right now. They are, of course, 34 away from registering a scintillating, comfortable stroll in the park kind of win. 72 for none, 5 overs. Obviously, this is already the best power play score in the league. Gardner's still okayish, but Smriti is a horrible buy. She's a very poor record in knockout games. Is there any sort of regret, dare I say, in the Bangalore franchise with spending so much money on Smriti Mohit, or do you think no? Let's be patient, and then she'll come good eventually.
See, Smriti Mandhana's too good a player to not come good eventually. But the point that you make there, which I am interested in, is the amount of money that Bangalore invested in her. Like, that's more than 25% of your total purse. And
Yeah.
what that does is it leaves you very less money to get other quality figure players. Like, if you look at how much uh, Delhi especially spent on their most expensive player, it was significantly less, which is why they have a much more balanced squad. So I think
Yeah.
the amount that they spent on Smriti Mandhana was always going to be a problem, because I think they spent almost 50% of their purse on just Mandhana and Elise Perry, which is a lot. And as good as those two players are, they can't win you the entire tournament. They'll maybe win you 2 matches, 3 matches, 4 matches, but that's about it. For the rest, you will need a well balanced squad. So I think like Bangalore definitely ended up overspending on Smriti Mandhana. I think they had a tussle going with Mumbai and Delhi at the auction table. I don't think Gujarat bid at all for Smriti. But I think Mumbai and Delhi were smart enough to pull out at the right time. And the other issue is like I'm still okay with franchisees spending a lot on Nat Silverbrunt and Ash Gardner, because they can influence the game in all three departments. They can win you a game with the ball as well as in the field. With Smriti Mandhana, she's not going to win you a game with the ball or in the field. So she is a one-dimensional player. So spending so much on a player who's only going to bat is a very risky proposition, especially in a format like T20s where even the best struggle for consistency a lot of times. So I think she is eventually going to come good, but RCB ended up spending at least like half a crore too much on her.
1 second. I'm fully agreeing with all those points, but my eyes just keep wandering towards the TV because look, what is Shefali on? Because she is absolutely motoring, and motoring is an understatement. She's taking the spinner apart because this is the final over the power play, understandably so, but she's also seeing it like a football. Two back-to-back sixes. Shefali ka swag goes on to see the Megatron over there. And 87 for none, 5.5. And mind you, there's still a ball left in the power play, and they need 13 to win. She's made an absolute mockery of this run chase. And Kanwar, I mean, you feel for the bowlers right now because she kind of changed her length up and went wider, same result. So literally, it was that point that Hardik was mentioning. Imagine Usman Khan and Shafali Verma batting today would have been just absolutely ridiculous. Guys, is Harleen improving her game in the T20 format? Some would say yes. Some would say give it a little bit more time.
Yeah, I would say yes. She is improving. I mean,
Yeah.
like her strike rate is quite better from what it was before, and she's trying to get in. Okay, fine. I don't give preference to my wicket
Yeah.
while I'm feeling. So once when the player has that, you tend to see the strike rates better.
Mm.
I mean, like you won't get the average, you won't get the consistency, but at least the strike rate gets higher up, or maybe it gets better, something like that. But yeah, probably she is improving.
She is improving, and she got a couple of 60s in her name. She might be even in the orange cap race for this first edition of the tournament. Why Gujarat playing Wareham and Kim Garth and not Sophie? I mean, sometimes it just puzzles you, right? Because I mean, I know Kim Garth, her first game was a good one. She got wicked. She performed today with a bat 32, 37, got them out of a crisis. But I have no idea why. I just want to ask the boys who they think is going to win the orange cap this year. Meg Lanning is leading the run charts right now, courtesy whatever she scored so far. There's Haley Matthews, Shifali will be there in due course. I'm sure there'll be others who come to mind. Who do you think will run away with the prize, boys?
I think it's gonna be Meglani because like, her consistency is way too good.
Is unmatched, you feel?
It's unmatched.
And if
Okay.
there's any Indian to give her a run for her money, who would it be?
I would say
Harleen?
no. Harleen is
With the
way too-
start she's had?
So, I mean that's too way too far.
Sometimes I
So
feel like
Harleen-
Harman doesn't even get the chances to bat, so she might not.
Harman is a middle order batter. You don't expect a middle order batter to win an orange cap.
Shafali?
Like, Shafali maybe, yeah. Shafali maybe.
Okay.
Shafali for sure is in the contention.
Mohit, you? And I'll
Yeah,
give you
I
my
think-
choice. I'll give you my choice.
Yeah, I think most people would have probably said Smriti Mandana at the start of the tournament if you had to name an Indian batter. But looking at the kind of tournament she's had, I don't think she's in contention anymore unless she gets like 450s in a row, and even that might not be enough. So I think it has to be Shafali Verma because none of the other Indian girls are mostly batting in the top three. Harleen's the only one who's batting in the top three and is looked in good touch. But I think it has to be Shafali Verma if you have to name an Indian batter who probably has the strongest chance of getting the orange cap because she's also batted better than at any point of time in the last year because I think the last 12 months have been more a struggle for her than a easy ride, especially in international cricket. Even at the under 19 World Cup, she played a couple of good innings, but those were chancy innings, and she wasn't really at her best. Same at the T20 World Cup, never really brought her best. So in this WPL, though, other than the Mumbai game, she's been in really scintillating touch, and at the rate at which she bats, even if she bats 20-25 balls a match, that's enough for her to get 50. So I think she's a strong contender for that orange cap.
I mean, speak of her, and she's just going from strength to strength, from 6 to 4, from 6 to 6. I mean, 98 for none, 6.3. Do not rub your eyes because it's absolute Hong Kong sixes kind of cricket happening out there. She's got 6. I'm guessing this has gone over the rope. Yes, just. So she moves on to 72, Shefali Verma, of 25 balls. And like Mohit was talking about it there, she's been in good form of late. I know that game where they got 223 initially, she went gung ho in that 162 run stand with Meg Lanning. But even this one, it's honestly, it's a range hitting session more than a competitive T20 match by the looks of things. Will she finish it in this over?
No.
Well, she has 2 more balls
She has two
and
more balls.
8 to win. We've seen some great knocks so far in the WPL. We saw one last night, of course, by, not to forget, Elisa Healy. How would you rate this Shefali knock? 26 balls, 72.
I mean, I don't want to take any credit out of that. Like,
But it
there
gives
has
you
been-
those Suresh Raina vibes, that 25 ball,
Yeah,
87.
it has been a great innings. An exceptional innings, I would say. But you don't have target. You don't have bowlers. They're like
But what makes her
before
so
coming
good,
to
dude?
this.
What makes her so good?
Dude, you're batting against a completely depleted attack.
True, but is it also because she has really good hand-eye coordination?
Yeah, that is there, because like she's very similar to what Sehwag is.
Yeah,
Like, it's just hand and eye. So
correct.
you can't say that. And again, I'll tell you, no, even Healy's knock yesterday, that was really good.
Very
But
good.
what happens is, like, you are hitting against a very tame attack, dude. Like, they're toothless. They've been toothless. To be very frank.
Yeah,
So I want her to perform against somebody, a bigger team, like against UP. I wanted her to perform
against Mumbai.
against Mumbai, where you have good quality bowling attack. That is where you have to show your might.
True. I mean, you can only beat what's in front of you, and so far she's doing that today. 99 for no loss, 6.5. The game's got over at a rapid pace. Abhinav Gupta saying Gujarat still unfortunate. Mooney injury, Sneerana's half injured, can't contribute with the bat and ball. Bangalore has no excuses. Pathetic backroom planning. Heather Knight is their wicket taker. Yeah, I mean, shocking calls over there. Just to the point of the other cricket. I mean, the questions coming through. Cricket Crazy Nick's, of course, not with us, but he's still through in terms of the comments. Chases like these are boons, quick chase, work done.
Boundary.
And that's another boundary. And that is a joke because 7 overs completed in this chase and they're 103 for none. And they need 4 more,
That's the
3 more.
PSL mode on.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some crazy cricket today. Literally, I mean, the PSL, the WPL, it just goes on. Why are you seeing the GT bowling attack is depleted? I mean, it goes
They
without
haven't
saying,
done
right?
anything. Like, see, even in the 200, even in when they scored the 200, a batting team which is struggling to get off their block, like they scored 190, they lost by 10 runs.
Yeah,
And against no other team, they bowled really well. Like, there hasn't been any particular bowler who has come out exceptionally well.
yeah.
See, Ashley Gardner in 4 matches, she hasn't done
Nothing.
anything.
Kim Garth,
Kim
but
Gar, maybe one match,
one game.
one game, and that over 3 wickets.
Yeah.
That's all. And then again, you have Sneh Rana, who hasn't been
And
doing
Mansi
anything.
Joshi off the
Mansi Joshi, who isn't doing anything.
Yeah.
So obviously, and then your batters are not giving you what you want. Like, how do you expect a bowler to be, fully energetic when you're defending 106?
Yeah, that's the problem, I think. And he's spot on while saying that, Ani, because the fact that once you have so little to defend, you're kind of already going in with that defensive mentality and you're already kind of on the back foot. And that's the problem for Gujarat, I'm guessing. This could be the winning runs. It is.
Yes, it is.
I think it'll trickle into the fence. And there you go. In a matter of 43 balls, Delhi Capitals have just annihilated Gujarat. And it's 2 precious points. They will, of course, be firmly in that eliminator, I'm sure, in terms of who finishes on top. Only time will tell between them and Mumbai. But convincing win. We saw a 10 wicket win yesterday. We're seeing a 10 wicket win today. Mohit, talk to me about this game and sum it up in 30 seconds if you can.
I think like Delhi probably have sealed a top 2 spot after this win, and Gujarat probably are now competing with RCB for the last place, considering the margin of this victory. So yeah, that would be my 30-second summary of this match.
I mean, it's honestly a joke. I mean, it gives me great delight because it's Saturday night and we can wear my dancing shoes slightly earlier because it's 9:50. Because the last time the game got over this early, it was 10:08. So well done, Shefali Verma and Meg Lanning to finish things off. Ani, final words with you. Shefali has just shown us why we love T20s because if you have that kind of intent, anything's possible. Do you think this is laying down a statement to the rest of the teams watching saying 7 overs we chased 100, anything's possible in the women's game now?
Yeah, anything is possible in women's game. Like, see, even in the Mumbai match, if she would have stayed, probably the story would have been different. It wouldn't have been somewhere like it wouldn't been a lopsided match.
Yeah.
If she would have stayed for 6 overs at least, I'm not saying like the whole innings. Even if she was there for 6 overs, probably Delhi would have scored some 50, 54 runs at least. So from there on, okay, fine, you have got a start and your batters are all in confidence. Okay, fine, we can take it through. So at least around 160, 165, you would have got. I know Mumbai in the current form have a batting their batters are in prime form, but still at least 160 with their bowling lineup. Yes, they could have made a match out of it. um, yeah, see, this is what everybody at the start of this tournament thought that Delhi would go with Alice Capsey and Shafali Verma, or Shafali Verma and Jemima Rodriguez, but out of nowhere, Meghalani came in.
It's crazy. It's honestly madness. So, look, in summary, I think Shafali Varma has just been sensational. She's lit up the tournament once again, and you can catch all the stats in cricket.com. I'm just peering to the scorecard right now, and I'm thinking to myself, have we seen a faster chase, even in the men's tournament, with the target above 100? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know.
I don't think so. The fastest target chase.
Yeah, not a target above 100. Maybe a sub 100 target, yes, but not a target over 100.
Yeah, it's quite crazy. By the way, you guys can keep in touch with all the scores on cricket.com because, like I said, there's some mad cricket happening right now. South Africa, West Indies, and of course,
That's done.
that's done. Sorry.
That's done.
New Zealand, Sri Lanka happened earlier today, so you can catch the scores of that. And PSL, they're chasing 263, the Quetta Gladiators, and they're already 54 for 1 out of 4 overs. I mean, truly, there's some absolutely mad guys going out there about their business over here. But speaking of match, Shafali Verma was brilliant. Delhi Capitals are brilliant. And we'll leave it there, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us in this curtailed watch along. There'll be more watch alongs, of course. Tomorrow is one of them where we see Mumbai play. We'll be there for that. I'm Abdi Shaikh. Thanks, Anirudh Kasagor and Moj Shah for making his presence felt as well.
Watch out! It's Harman versus Ali Healy.
It is Harman versus Heedy tomorrow. That's going to be a cracker-jacker. We'll see you then. And not to forget, the BGT review at 5 p.m. day 4 as well. It's goodbye. Have a fantastic Sunday, my friends. We'll see you soon.
See you.
See you.